Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Friday afternoon. Welcome into the latest edition of the Auburn Blitz. I'm Andy Graham alongside Brett Pritchard. We'll be with you for the next hour, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics. It is the day before the Iron Bowl. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving out there. I know I ate to my heart's content. It was a wonderful day yesterday. Got a little egg bowl last night. Very entertaining game. A lot of football games going on today as well. Auburn's still looking for a head football coach. Will it be Lane Kiffin? Will it not be Lane Kiffin? Certainly no concrete answers. Do you want Lane Kiffin? That is another good question. Ole Miss now lost 4 of their last 5 games?
4 of their last 5.
Going to end up, 8-4 for the season. So,
Luke always says this, and, you play your best game once a year, you play your worst game, and everything else in between is really who you are.
Yep.
Ole Miss dodged a few bullets early, and a Kentucky game, one of them. I think when the dust settles, they're an 8-4 team. Talent-wise, ability-wise, they've got although Judkins has done a phenomenal job, he's a true freshman. Jackson Dart is a decent quarterback. He's not anything stellar. And their defense gets gashed a bunch. So I think they're fortunate to be 8-4. I think a lot of times when you look at it, it's when the losses come and how you finish. We always look at the last part of the season. That's what we did last year with Brian Harsin.
Right.
Got off to a fast start and then ended, with pie on his face and just did not look good at all, losing the last 5 games of the season. So that's the taste that you have in your mouth of that Ole Miss team is you've lost 4 or 5. Tennessee's doing the same thing right now. Everybody's looking at their body of work, and they were going to print some hardbound book, and they thought Hendon Hooker was going to win the Heisman, and they were going to be in the playoffs. And ever since the first playoff ranking came out, they ain't done squat except get their doors blown off and lose their quarterback. So really their season, only thing they've got to hang their hat on right now is that win over Alabama the first time in 15 years. So things,
which is a big deal to them.
Which is a big deal, but it's not what they thought it was going to be. I mean, this is not some stellar season.
No.
The way it's ended. So, yeah, I think you get what you get with Ole Miss. And has there been some distractions? There's no doubt. I think it's affected them. So we'll see kind of how all this plays out in the next 48 hours.
You speaking to that and thinking about that, and it kind of occurred to me for whatever reason that Tennessee was headed, and by all rights, everybody looked at that, and Hendon Hooker, and they said, man, that's a great quarterback. Like you said, he was a Heisman candidate, and they were having this phenomenal season. But it all did fall apart.
It fell apart.
And you know what? It falls apart more times than it does.
It does.
And for Auburn, looking back on seasons like 2004 and seasons like 2010 and 2013, man, to have those seasons really, go undefeated in 2004, to win the national championship in 2010, to get to the national championship game and be 13 seconds close, to winning another one. Those seasons don't come along that often for most teams.
And they were on the cusp of doing it in 17. I mean, you win the SEC championship game,
that was one of those that fell apart.
It fell apart because you just ran through the 2 number 1 teams in the country back to back, and you had to turn around, play one of them again for 3 weeks in a row. So it's just too much to bear on that team. But Auburn's had, Auburn has shown, and I think if Lane Kiffin ends up coming to Auburn or whoever the next coach is, and all the fans of all the other schools want to bash and talk about Auburn's a hard job. It is a hard job, but you can't do it. That's a lie. I mean, it's been proven over the last 20 years that you can do it and you can get there, and not only can you get there, you can win it. Ole Miss and all these other schools that want to act like they're on even playing field, they can't even get there, much less win one. So it is a different deal. And, you know, the discrepancy between the two programs is massive. Keeping Lane Kiffin, adding $2 more million to his salary may not be enough to keep him there, because maybe he has aspirations to do more things than just finish 8-4 every year. And I know that's coming from a fan base that we've got a boatload of 8-4s in our boat too, but we're looking for somebody that maybe can get Auburn to a consistent 10-11 win program year in and year out, Andy. That's what we're looking for.
Taking them to the next level. That's what we've been talking about. Auburn's the top 15 program all time. Do you want to get into that top 5, type program all time? Well, that's the next step. If you can, I think Auburn's a sleeping giant. I think that there's so many resources there you can pull from. You just got a brand new state-of-the-art $90 million facility. You got NIL now. Really starting to get rolling at Auburn. You got unlimited salary, so money's not going to be an issue. You got as good a fan support as there is anywhere in the country. So is it going to be? Last night Lane Kiffin said after the Iron Bowl that he has not been made an offer. I would assume an official offer will be coming today.
He may have not been offered, but his agent may
his
have.
agent, I'm sure he has.
This is just it's smoke talk.
Of
we know how. He's not.
But I'm saying officially,
right.
He's going to have to answer an official question probably today or tomorrow.
Yeah, nothing in any of these in his statements has been definitive. I anticipate to be the coach next year. I plan to be. Well, all that's just. What else do you expect him to say at that point? So,
and if he wants to stay at Ole Miss, then God bless him. I hope good for him. But let's move on to whoever is number 2 on the list for Auburn. If he is even number 1, I don't know that for a fact. We all assume.
Just don't pull a rabbit out of the hat like Alan Green did. And go out to some obscure corner of the earth and pull this guy out that nobody's even heard of.
You know what? My brother, we were talking today. He said, we'll go out and hire Dino Babers. That sounds like something we would do.
It would. It's when one guy goes out there and you try to give him the benefit of the doubt, say, man, maybe he's the smartest guy in the room. Maybe he knows something we don't. Referring to Alan Green, and we're all sitting there going, the media's caught off guard. We're caught off guard. Nobody saw this coming. And we're like, man, maybe he's on something. No, he wasn't. No. It was a pretty crappy deal all the way around. So,
like I said, Iron Bowl tomorrow. Get your predictions in. If you got an Iron Bowl memory you'd like to share, by all means. We've been taking those all week. They've been a lot of fun. A lot of people don't really realize this, I don't think. Since 1982, since Bo went over the top 40 years ago, if you can believe that, 2020. The series is 2020.
You were just a mere child at that time.
I was a young buck, not even realizing what was going on in the world. 1982, man. It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
But Auburn had a basketball game. They continued to start the season undefeated. They're 6-0. It was an ugly game between them and Northwestern.
One of the ugliest basketball games I think I've seen.
Wow, could anybody make a shot? That was the question down the stretch. Just as one of the poorest shooting games you'll ever see. Auburn ends up winning that one, quite appropriately so in a defensive stand at the end,
right.
But winning 43-42. So,
well,
we'll talk about that. If you'd like to talk about the basketball game, we got a lot of comments coming through. We'll get to as many of those as we can throughout the show today as well. But it's good to see all of you out there. Appreciate all of you out there being with us today.
Where else would you be?
Come on.
There's a soccer game going on, right?
Is there? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Jamie says, how about that Egg Bowl? I'm sure you watched it.
You sure I'm watching it?
Yeah.
Every play.
Of course.
Yeah, it was, it looked like knife through butter for Mississippi State on that first drive. They went down. I was like, good Lord. But the Ole Miss defense settled in. I thought they did a really good job. And it came down to, and I hope this isn't irony, we didn't see foreshadowing, Ole Miss not being able to finish in the red zone, having to settle for field goals. Hey, but here's the biggest Achilles heel for Lane Kiffin in the last 3 years of watching him against Auburn last year, against Alabama now twice in the last 2 years. when he gets inside the 20-yard line, if it's 4th and like 4, he's going for it. He's not going to take the points. Guess what if he'd have kicked the field goal down there that time instead of be talking about a different outcome?
I mean, Will Rogers tried to give the game to Ole Miss several times.
I mean, that's
and they would not take it.
So, I mean, that's kind of where I'm going with it, that, you know, there are some – he is so analytically driven, which drives you crazy. And even my dad said last night, he said, look, he said, man, it's – you know, it'd be tough to, if he is your coach, he'd drive you nuts, man, with the decisions he makes. And he's done it several times. He was so geeked up 2 years ago, last year, against Alabama. You know, have your popcorn ready, throw your dadgum headset down. He thought he had the team, and he may have had the team to beat Alabama at that time. But early in the game, he was playing like he was playing with a PlayStation controller in his hand and not playing smart football, and coming away with no points on those drives. And we saw it again last night. So he's his own worst enemy a lot of times.
I think we got a phone call, bro.
Let's go to the phone lines and welcome in our first call of the day. Caller, go ahead. James, you there, brother?
Hey there, buddy. How y'all doing?
We're here, buddy. How are you?
Oh, God, I got the damn phone up too loud. I'll just ask you this real quick.
Go ahead.
All right, well, listen, here's what it is. Have you heard anything today on the coach or coaches or whatever?
That would be a big negative.
Okay. What do you think that means?
I don't know that it really means anything. I didn't expect to hear anything today. I don't expect to hear anything till possibly Saturday night or into Sunday. I really think, you know, from a professional standpoint, whoever the new coach is going to be and whoever, you know, what Auburn's doing as far as running the ship with Cohen and Roberts, I think they're trying to be respectful of this team and heading into the Iron Bowl and you know, giving Cadillac his due right now. I think that's where we are.
Right, okay. That sounds good. I didn't catch anything earlier this morning, and I wanted to check with my regular source, and you guys do a great job back there behind the. Okay, I always had they had Paw Patrol on up here a while ago. I don't know where the hell that came from, but I said I got to get my people on there. So that young man knows what he's doing back there, I think, and y'all take care of something. But y'all, if you have to, break in and tell us all. I'm on my edge right now.
Thank you, James.
I'm starting to hate right now, and that's working up for Saturday. But it's hating time, so we'll just do that and go with that. I'll take care. Have a good day. I'm sorry I was so disheveled with my question today.
You good, brother. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, James. Appreciate you, my man. Have a good one.
Yeah, we're up against our first break here on the Auburn Blitz, but don't go anywhere. We are just getting started. And, again, Iron Bowl, get your predictions in, get your memories in, and we will continue with more right after these important messages.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors. Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, it's Brett Pritchard, and I'm here to tell you all about Sims Foods, who you know better as Wickles Pickles. Wickles Pickles, that 90-year-old recipe, wickedly delicious. Relish, okra, and pickles. From Saturday sandwiches, tailgate snacks, to holiday dinners with your family and friends. From their family to yours, Wickles Pickles, those wickedly delicious pickles.
Wickles Pickles, wickedly delicious pickles.
Concrete Basement and Walls LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls LLC.
No monthly payments until springtime at Glenn Smith in Opelika. How about a brand new Chevrolet Buick or GMC with no payments till springtime? New Chevy Equinox as low as $359 a month. New Buick Enclaves up to $4,000 off. New GMC Terrains up to $5,000 off.
We have over 200 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way at Glenn Smith in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you for about 45 more minutes left in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. We are brought to you each and every day by Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team. Saving people thousands of dollars each and every year on their home mortgage. Give them a call today, 256-397-0248, 256-397-0248. Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley.
Hey, Kane, just a note in the studio. We still hear your mic on back there. So just a little programming note. Let's get to some more of these comments here. It says, Wayne said Auburn just got a flip from Deron Reed, 4-star commitment from LSU now to Auburn.
Defensive
lineman.
Yeah.
Yep, we were going to talk about that. That's a big deal. As you said to me off the air, it's apparent that he's committing to Auburn and not somebody, because right now, why in the world would you commit unless you just wanted to come to Auburn? So Steve said, I know you guys have the direct connection and influence over football team.
Of course.
Sorry about that miscommunication. Please tell Cadillac to be prepared for Alabama's blitz, especially on third down. We seem to be surprised by this play. We'll get into the nuts and bolts of this game. Jason Caldwell will be on in a couple of segments, and we'll talk to him about it. Randy said, no thanks on Lane, but I'll support. How's he considered anything close to a Grand Slam hire? I think it's name only. What he's been able to do coaching-wise, if that's what you consider a Grand Slam hire, then there's a bunch of them, in my opinion.
Look, it's undoubted that he is a offensive He's a really, really
But if you're
good
basing it
offensive
on
coordinator.
results, he's average.
That's true.
To this point.
I would agree. As a head coach.
As a head coach, he's average. So let's go back to the phone lines. Caller, go ahead.
Good afternoon, guys. How are you all today?
What's up, Jerry?
Good. Hey, I appreciate y'all taking my call. And y'all were just talking about it. Now, look, I'm a big Auburn fan as there is. They named Lane Kiffin the coach, and I'm going to get behind it. But look, I hadn't felt too good about it for 2 or 3 weeks, but last couple of weeks. But besides that, and I brought it up last week about the lack of defense and effort from him, and I know you got to play offense these days, but you don't give up playing defense either just because you go out there and score some points or you think you can. Some of the decisions I see made from Lane Kiffin, I'm not impressed with, y'all. I'm just not that impressed with it. Like I said, if they name me the coach, and I'm going to get behind it. But as the way things stand right now, me being an Auburn person and just the way I feel about it and the way I look at it and see it, y'all said it. You're not getting no Grand Slam high over there. I want somebody tell me some of the big wins he's had. But personally, I would go after. I would either Dion or Cadillac. I know Cadillac's young, inexperienced. He's got a lot to learn. But by God, you can see what they put out there on the field, and that's effort. And he's going to give everything he's got to Auburn. And I think he can recruit also. This thing carries a lot of weight around the South, but that's just my opinion. And I appreciate y'all taking my call, and a big war eagle, and let's go put some knots and bruises on Alabama tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
Boy,
Appreciate it.
yeah.
Hey, Gary asked me this morning on his show if Lane Kiffin was the coach, how would the Auburn fan base respond? And my response to him on that was, I think they'll get behind him. I think that's what Auburn fans do, just like what Jerry said, just like what Randy said. They may not be the biggest fan, but they'll support him because he's the coach of the program. I think you'll have a certain faction that'll be very excited about having Lane Kiffin, and you're going to have some that don't want him at all. I think that happens with any coach most of the time. There's going to be some that his personality just clashes with and conflicts, and they won't agree with it. So, but I think for the most part, as a whole, the fan base will back him.
Absolutely. And look, I mean, it don't matter who you hire. It could go one. Look, I mean, it could be really, really good. It could be very mediocre, or it could be really.
We're
really
so
bad.
used to mediocre.
We have had a little bit of everything.
We've had a boatload of mediocre, though.
No, but there's so many other factors to it. I mean, you just say, well, what's the great thing about Lane Kiffin? Well, okay, he brings a great offense, and he's going to call really good plays, and you're going to probably score some points. And so that's good. That's a positive. But you don't play a lot of defense, so that's another thing. Well, would that change? Would that be a guarantee at Auburn that you absolutely would not play defense? No.
Would you see a team that was more like the 13 and 14 Auburn teams that put a boatload of points up but gave up a boatload?
Yeah,
are you okay with that?
Based on what he is.
Are you okay with that?
No, not really.
What about the results of those 2 years? I mean, 14 we fell short, but we won 9 games.
We did. I mean,
I don't.
It's a good question. It's a fair question.
Yep.
You got to have a quarterback to do that, though. You got to have a great quarterback, and I mean, sometimes you miss on those guys. That's the difference between having a great team and not having a great team.
Right.
We got to take another break here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Growing your business isn't just one thing. It's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Frontline Outfitters provides all your aftermarket parts for your cars, trucks, and as well as your professional tinting solutions for auto, residential, and commercial buildings. Frontline Outfitters also handles vinyl wraps, spray-in bed liners, truck accessories, LED lighting, paint correction and detailing, and much more. Make sure Frontline Outfitters of Alexander City is your first call for tinting and aftermarket solutions. Call us today, 256-409-8100.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
Russell Building Supply and Home Center is just around the corner in a brand new, convenient location with a wide selection of grills, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. The new store offers more home improvement items along with other helpful conveniences like a drive-through lumber yard and our Best Rewards program, making it an ideal destination for do-it-yourselfers and professional contractors. Get ready for game day on the plains by stocking up on all your Auburn tailgating gear at Russell Building Supply and Home Center.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you. About 30 more minutes left in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. A lot of comments continuing to come through. Ty says he doesn't think it's going to be Lane now. It's going to be Luke Fickle, or he says Frickle. But
Maybe it is
either
Frickle.
way, maybe it would be. John says gut feeling. Who do you think will be the coach?
I think it's Lane.
Really?
Yeah, I do. With Lane, with Hugh Freeze sitting there waiting to be called. I mean, I really think if it gets beyond those two, I think the search didn't go the way Auburn wanted it. I really think that's kind of where they are with it. That's my feeling, based on what I've been told. So,
If they don't get him, then
if they don't get Lane or Hugh Freeze, they've gone on down the list and didn't work out like they wanted it to. So
I can't imagine Hugh Freeze not being offered the job and him taking it.
That's my point.
Yeah.
If it goes beyond that, it's to me something derailed. Ed said, as a head coach, Lane has not had Tua, Ruggs, Judy, and 70 other 4 or 5 stars. outstanding point.
It does make you look good.
Yeah, and, me and Luke talked about it Tuesday night. I feel like Lane Kiffin's been the best offensive coordinator Alabama's had under Nick Saban. Now, I know Sarkisian's right there with him, but and Luke agreed. He said, from an innovative standpoint and being able to do what he did with those type players. So if he is able to come into a place and get top-notch talent and load the roster, what can he do? I think he's already proven that. Wes said, guys, I want Lane out of Mississippi. 1-2 against Auburn, 1-2 against Arkansas, 1-2 against LSU, 2-1 against Mississippi State. You're gonna get mixed bags on this thing. Some people are glad to see him leaving. Some don't want to see him leaving. Ole Miss fans seem all week to be crying about him possibly leaving and coming to Auburn, but you don't know. John said you need someone to coach players up, starting with QBs. Doesn't have to be a head coach, but somebody on the staff. Quarterback is an issue, no doubt about it. David said after reading Jackson Dart's post-game comments last night, it makes you wonder exactly what Lane told the Ole Miss players.
What was his?
I didn't read Jackson Dart's comments. No offense, I didn't really care. That's not something I wanted to pull up. Wes said also Harsin has been fired since he's been fired. He's 0-3. Lastly, he's going to bring more players from Ole Miss as well as Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, Texas, etc. As much as I hate to say this, he's going to bring Auburn to a top 5 team. So
wasn't it sickening to see J.J. Pegues and there again
and just dominate
a guy that you can? Somebody that actually knows what they're doing can take a guy like a J.J. Pegues and use him in so many different ways. And they're talking about, this guy's going to be an NFL player and all this. You got Ladarius Tennyson making plays.
Did you see him on the defensive line just whipping that center?
Yes.
We move people around. I said this a few months ago. There's no telling what kind of player Jeremiah Wright could be if he'd have just been able to stay in one spot. He comes to practice one day, he's on the offensive line, the next day he's on the defensive line. Back to the offensive line, back to defensive line. We have had some coaches at Auburn in the last 5 years that have been such poor evaluators of talent and run so many off. Brian Harsin, to me, all you need to say is that Landon King got in the transfer. He was by far the best receiving option you had, and you had him sitting on the bench. And Gus did it as much as anybody. Would make you scratch your head on why is guys not playing versus other ones.
Darius
Slayton
continued to make plays.
He's the Giants' number 1 receiver.
And he was kind of an afterthought at Auburn. It just
and you wonder why. And you wonder why Auburn has the reputation it has with guys right now. And if you're a top recruit and you see these results versus some of these other schools, why would you select Auburn over them? You wouldn't, because you see what talent has been wasted.
Well, they kept showing all those lists last night. Will Rogers climbing up the list.
Right.
Auburn, and they got these top 10 quarterbacks.
Auburn didn't have a single one on
Georgia got 2 or 3 in there, and a couple of them from Florida. They got Alabama. Auburn nowhere to be seen.
First thing my dad said, he's like, well, Auburn don't have a guy on that list.
No.
Don't have one.
No. I think we got another phone call.
Let's go back to the phones. Caller, go ahead.
Hey, Brett, David Jones.
Hey, David.
Who?
Hey, Kane didn't recognize my voice over the phone. So, hey, I was just going to clarify what Jackson Dart said. They were asking him about next year, and basically what he said was, regardless of who the coach is here next year, I'm staying and continuing to grow as a player at Ole Miss. He said, I hope it's Lane, but if it's not, I'm staying. Well, why would he say that if Lane had just 2 days ago told him I'm going to be here next year? That's kind of strange.
Well, I think probably he's saying it because nobody really knows. I'm not saying – I think Lane Kiffin told him he was staying, and his intentions were to stay. But I think basically what Jackson Dart's saying is he's speaking for himself, that if something happens and he did leave, I'm staying here. I don't think you read anything into that. That's just my opinion.
Well, clearly he did not tell the team, you don't have to worry about it. I will be here next year.
Right.
He just said, unless he said basically, my plan to be here, And, I have not received
Just
an
your
offer
normal
from Auburn.
generic statement.
If he receives an offer from Auburn, he may go.
Play on
That's
words.
the thing.
Yeah,
that's right.
Play on words. And the other thing I was going to real quick, I know y'all got to go to break here in a minute. I was going to echo I said the exact same thing that Andy said last night. Look at that dadgum J.J. Pegues running all over this dadgum field, catching a dang touchdown pass, wreaking havoc on defense. That just makes me sick. Unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Yep. Well, we're our own worst enemy with some of our selections at coach here lately.
Yep. Well, you guys have a great weekend. We'll hope to pull them through tomorrow.
Appreciate it, David.
Thank you, David.
Okay.
Just for clarification, John said gut feeling. I'm with Brett. I think it's Kiffin or Freeze. I think one or the other will be Auburn's next head coach. Now, I may be wrong, and I have been wrong quite a few times on coaching searches, but that just seems the direction that it's heading right now, as far as I can tell. We got to take another break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, Jason Caldwell from inside the Auburn Tigers, right after this.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
Country Clipper zero-turn mowers are designed for comfort, accessibility, and ease of use. Only Country Clipper offers your choice of steering options with industry-exclusive joystick steering or twin lever steering. Their patented stand-up deck, standard on every model, allows for quick access to the underside of the deck for routine maintenance. With a wide front step and optional handrail, getting on or off your mower has never been easier. Stop by Fun Carts of Opelika today for a test drive. Country Clipper mowers, designed for you. Fun Carts of Opelika, located at 618 Lee Road, 113 in Opelika, Alabama.
Hey, this is Doug Roberts, long-term resident of Alexander City. I sold my house with Century 21 Lake Area Realty because all my life I had heard that to sell a house you need 3 things: location, location, location. I found out there's actually 4. You need location, 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 and Rhonda Gaskins at Century 21 Lake Area Realty to sell your house fast.
Call me today and let me go to work for you. 256-749-3644.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Brubaker Motors in Montgomery is the largest and fastest growing used car dealership in the river region. You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker. It's better at Brubaker.com.
Brubaker! Brubaker! Brubaker!
You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker.
BREWBAKER. BREWBAKER.com.
It's better at Brubaker.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you for just a couple more segments. In today's show, going to go to the phone line and welcome in our good friend Jason Caldwell from inside the Auburn Tigers. Jason, thank you so much for being with us today. Obviously, a lot going on. Iron Bowl tomorrow. Auburn's still in the midst of a coaching search. Just tell us what you think the logistics are as far as when we're going to hear some solid information about Auburn's next coach and who you think it might be.
Yeah, guys, I don't think we're going to hear any news today, based on the information I gathered this morning. It's kind of gone back and forth. A couple of days ago, I mentioned, hey, I didn't think it was going to happen until after the Iron Bowl. Now I'm even more convinced that I don't think anything happens until after the game tomorrow. I don't think that has any impact on who the coach might be, but I just think from a respect standpoint, to respect the players and coaches, the work they've done in keeping this thing together, to not distract from that game on Saturday. I think the Auburn folks decided, hey, let's there'll still be discussions, they'll still be working on it. I don't think we're going to see anything formally done, and that's where you get to. So there'll still be discussions, still be things happening. I don't think we're going to see anything formally done until after the Iron Bowl game. So Sunday, Monday, somewhere around in there. And if people wonder about the timeline, hey, the portal doesn't open until December 5th. And so you got time to start working on those things. Even if you did this thing early next week, you still have plenty of time. It's actually a dead period for the first 2 days of the Super 7 next week. So even if an Auburn coach is hired and even if a staff is there, they couldn't be there until Friday. So that's just the way the calendar falls. It did the same thing last year in Birmingham to some extent. So for Auburn, they wouldn't be able to be even in Jordan-Hare Stadium to watch games and to do things until Friday. So I think, timeline-wise, it feels like Sunday, Monday, and, we'll just see what happens after the next 48 hours or so.
Been a tumultuous year and put a lot of recruits in limbo. Really hasn't been much news to report, but today Auburn gets a flip from LSU. Deron Reed, kind of talk about him a minute, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, Colby Wooden type guy, 6'4", 265, 270, can play inside, can play outside, probably winds up being a defensive tackle down the road. But I think like Colby Wooden is a guy that can play outside and rush the pass or decent things. I mean, it's a really good player. It's a top 247 kid that can go at a really good program there in Carver out of Columbus, Georgia. And so you look at kind of what they've been able to do. And as I tweeted just a little bit ago, it shows you the potential of this Auburn program as it stands today, that a guy goes, man, I like the groundwork that's laid, no matter who the coach is. You think about NIL, you think about the new facility, and you're going, hey, look, we're going to hire somebody that's going to hit the ground running. I think that's as much as anything. We saw Landon King decide to come back from the transfer portal. I think people are going, look, I trust the leadership, John Cohen, Rich McGlynn, what they've been able to do. This coaching staff that's been able to recruit. And so, yeah, Deron Reed is a guy that you look at it and go, man, it's a really big addition for Auburn in this line of scrimmage league that is the Southeastern Conference.
Let's talk about the Iron Bowl tomorrow. This is a game where, nobody's really given Auburn a legitimate chance, and rightfully so. You look at the seasons, and, Alabama has been disappointing for them based on their normal expectations, but they've lost 2 games. Basically, it came down to the last play of the game, and so they have an outside shot to still make the college football playoff. So they still have a lot to fight for. What's the recipe for Auburn, if any, Jason, to be able to go up there and pull a shocker?
Yeah, I think it's a similar recipe to last season. You look at it, but you got to do things. Auburn's got to have more offense, and that's the reason. In the end, that was the reason why they couldn't pull off the upset last year. But you got to have a really special defensive performance, and it starts with making Alabama one-dimensional. Can't let Alabama run the football. That's going to be as much as anything. Slow down the running game, and then get after Bryce Young. We've seen that's been the thing that's been the biggest key for teams that played against Alabama. Get after him, try to create havoc, and that was what Derek Hall said, kind of create havoc. That was the goal there. And then offensively, I don't see a recipe for Auburn just to run the football to win this game. Robbie Astor's going to have to make plays in the passing game. They got to be able to get some of those things. And they schemed up a couple of those plays, just haven't been able to connect on them. you got to take advantage of every one of those opportunities tomorrow in the passing game. And you don't have to go. You don't have to throw for 350 and go 35 of 40. But you got to be able to make a couple of those chunk yardage plays in the passing game, in my opinion, to show Alabama that it's not going to be 100% run.
Auburn gets a win over Northwestern as well in a very ugly, poor shooting night. It's kind of one of those, you can tell both teams were kind of at the end of the week there. They played more games, back to back. You don't usually do that, but this Auburn team moving forward. They are, I think the number 13 in the country right now. But what have you seen so far? As they stand 6-0.
Yeah, a really good defensive team, a lot of depth, just not a great shooting basketball team. And Northwestern controlled tempo, and they wanted to play ugly. There won't be many teams in this league. Mississippi State's going to do that. They're going to want to control tempo and make it ugly. Everybody else in this league is going to want to run and get up and down the court. Auburn will fare better offensively. It's almost like watching football a little bit. When the team that runs, when it wants to run, that's when they get in a rhythm. When teams slow it down, it feels like they become stagnant, and that's what I saw from Auburn's offense. So I think they'll be in a better position because of the way they play defense to create tempo and to create offense in an up-and-down game. But Northwestern, Wisconsin played somebody else played a 43-42 game yesterday from the Big Ten, and so that's the style of basketball they play. It's not much fun to watch, and Auburn survived it. But they're going to have, obviously, Chance Westry is the key for me. Got to get that shooter in a little bit of a rhythm and get him going.
Well, Jason, we have the Super 7 next week. It's going to be fun, starting Wednesday night with a big one, Auburn and Thompson, and then, of course, Thursday and Friday's action, get the other 6 classifications. And this time next week, probably talking about a new head football coach at Auburn. So there's a lot going to be packed into next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. You're right. These next 7 days or so are going to be wide open, but I'm looking forward to it.
Jason, hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and hope you have fun tonight checking out some high school football.
Thanks, guys. Y'all too. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely. Don't go anywhere. One final segment of the Auburn Blitz on this Friday Iron Bowl Eve right after this.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Don't be caught in a dirty vehicle. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have your vehicle or boat looking like brand new in no time, and you'll be back driving in style. They specialize in detailing, paint correction, gel coat restoration, and ceramic coating. Take it to the professionals at Lake Martin Mobile Detailing. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or stop by and see them at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville. Mention this ad and receive $10 off. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing for your cleanest vehicles around.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Hey guys, this is Nate Paz with Airport Motors.
I'm Connor Branch with Fairway Auto Brokers in Opelika, Alabama.
And this is your first ever Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz.
That's right, Lake Martin. Airport Motors and Fairway Auto Brokers is teaming up for the very first Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz. Make sure to check out either website for the very best selection of pre-owned luxury trucks, SUVs, and sedans in East Alabama. Get pre-approved in minutes online and make sure to use the keyword Summer Blitz in the comments section for $500 off internet price. That's keyword Summer Blitz.
Need that boost to get you started in the morning or help get you through a long day at the office? Alex City Nutrition is your answer. Alex City Nutrition, located on 2nd Broad Street in downtown Alex City, offers meal replacement shakes, post-workout shakes, extreme rebuild products, and a vast array of loaded teas that offer focus, energy, and build up your immunity and overall health. Want to buy in bulk? We now offer your favorite flavors by the gallon. Come by Alex City Nutrition today or call 256-496-8284 to begin your journey to great health.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you. One final segment on this Friday edition of the Auburn Blitz. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us today, brought to you each and every day by Russell Dewitt Center and Big Fish Real Estate, two wonderful sponsors here, as well as Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team. We appreciate them and all that they do. They are three absolutely wonderful companies here in the local area. And we appreciate them being sponsors here. Iron Bowl, Auburn, Alabama. Jason talked about it. You know, I came into this game, oddly enough, I came to this game last year thinking Auburn had less of a chance to win, and they end up playing, you know, you look up and it's 10-3 in the fourth quarter, and Auburn, by all rights, should have, you know, had a great chance to win the game, probably even should have won the game. This year, I think Auburn's even got a little bit better chance. I feel a little bit better about going in the game.
You really do?
Than I did last year. So, I mean, you know, I don't think that means Auburn's going to win. But, I mean, what?
Well, we had one thing going for us last year. We were at home.
Oh, yeah, that's a big difference.
Look, I'm not going to get on here and bash a kid, but Robbie Ashford he just didn't have the tools to get it done, man. I hate it.
I think it's going to be difficult for Auburn to score. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know that we do score. We may kick a field goal. I think it's going to have to be a turnover or two to help. Bryce Young's going to be the difference in the game, in my opinion. He's going to be able to run around and make plays like he – and, you know, Gary asked me this morning, he said, what is it going to take to get a win? And Robbie Asher's going to have to make plays on third down, keep the offense on the field. He's going to have to make throws. I haven't really seen his ability to do that this year. Best half performance he had was against LSU in the first half. And he was running around, throwing the ball on the run.
He threw for 300 yards in that game.
Looked as confident as anybody, but he's regressed since then. Auburn has pretty much abandoned the passing game and gone 85% run. You can't do that against Alabama. They're going to stack the box and force you to throw it. Can we do it enough to make them honest? I don't think we can. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just saying based on what you're going to be faced with.
Oh, there's a reason it's a 22-point line. I mean,
right.
So, yeah, I think you make great points. I think Auburn's defense will rise up. I think they'll play hard. I think they'll go out there and I think the game will, if it's close, if Auburn can make it close and keep it close in the first half, in the second half they've made that's the one thing that I've seen in the 3 games that Cardinal Williams has been in charge. Auburn has made better adjustments at halftime than in the last probably 7 or 8 years.
They have. You're right.
So, I mean, if you can keep it close, I feel like maybe, Auburn has, if you go by what we've seen in the last couple of games, then maybe they'll have a chance to make some adjustments. And if they can get it to a fourth quarter game, then obviously it's anybody's game. And I think we'll see what happens. I'm certainly, it's not one of those. I don't feel hopeless, which I have felt quite a few times going into this game, but.
Can we get a Trey Smith performance game? I felt hopeless going into that one, and won that one 17-7.
That's true.
I mean, I don't know. Can we pull something like that off like we did in 2002?
That would be pretty special. A lot of games today. Baylor at Texas, kind of an important one. I think if Texas wins this game and maybe Kansas State loses to Kansas, I think Texas will be playing TCU in a rematch for the Big 12 title. So kind of a big game there. Arizona State at Arizona. Nobody really cares. But
right now Baylor is up 19-17 at half.
Is that right? 19-17.
That's right.
Interesting. NC State and North Carolina, 2:30 this afternoon. Again, North Carolina loses to Georgia Tech last week, so that kind of puts a damper on that one for North Carolina.
But it's a rival game.
Arkansas at Missouri.
Yeah,
Any
2:30
chance for
today.
Mizzou there?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm picking an upset there. I'm going Mizzou.
It's only a 3-point favorite, Arkansas.
How about that? Florida at Florida State. When's the last time Florida State actually won one of these games?
It's been a minute.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
And Florida State's a 10-point favorite.
Man, Florida loses to Indy. I'm not sure.
Ooh.
And look, Billy Napier may end up being a really good coach there, but Auburn may have dodged a bullet not getting him.
There's a lot of bullets out there right now.
South Carolina at Clemson. Gamecocks got a chance in this one.
They do. They do have a chance in this
If it was in South Carolina.
Oh, man. It would be a little bit.
I might feel really good about it.
Right. Can they put how they handle coming off an unreal performance against Tennessee? I mean, can they be brought back down to earth? Probably so by Clemson.
Probably. Clemson not a great team.
They aren't.
Louisville at Kentucky. Louisville's playing better. Kentucky not so much.
That South Carolina Clemson game's got 2 quarterbacks that everybody thought would both be Heisman Trophy winners potentially, and they have underachieved about as largely.
Yeah, Rattler's the most inconsistent guy. I mean,
and Uyunglele he hadn't performed anywhere close to what they thought he was going to do when he got there. So.
No, not even close, like you said. LSU at A&M.
Gosh.
How many people at this game for Texas A&M?
They'll show up some for that one. It's going to be an ugly ending to the season for A&M.
Can Vandy upset Tennessee?
They can without Hendon Hooker. I mean, I really
playing with confidence.
I mean, I think they can, man. I just think that, with the way things have kind of tailed off for Tennessee and losing their mojo and what they were fighting for.
Yeah.
And Vanderbilt's playing. Vanderbilt's won 3 in a row now.
Yeah, well, 2. They've won 2 SEC games.
2 SEC games.
Mm-hmm. A resurgent Jayhawks team at Kansas State, a rivalry game. Washington at Washington State. Oregon at Oregon State. Can Oregon? How about Bo Nix? Can they win this game and get to the Pac-12 title game and beat USC? Then would you take a 2-loss champion Alabama over a 2-loss Oregon Pac-12 champion?
Probably.
Probably.
The committee probably would.
Notre Dame at USC. Can Notre Dame upset USC? Certainly they can. Michigan, Ohio State. Who you like?
Ohio State.
Auburn at Alabama. Give me a score.
31-10.
31-10. I'm gonna go crazy. Cadillac.
Here we go.
24-23 Auburn.
Is there any irony to that being his number?
Possibly.
Now, look at there. You didn't even know the things align in the universe.
That's going to wrap it up for us on this edition of the Auburn Blitz. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. He's Brett. I'm Andy. War Eagle beat Alabama. We'll talk again soon.